Lance Hall here for Let's Discuss with Lance Hall. Happy to welcome Renee Phoenix to the program today. How you doing, Renee?
I'm doing great, Lance. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. How are things in Nashville? Hot, I can imagine.
Oh gosh, it is so hot, and just in time, my air conditioner in my car has gone out.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, just in time. Yeah.
Yeah, gotta love it. Gotta love it. Speaking of hot, though, I saw some footage you put up on your Facebook page from a show you played the other night in Charlotte. Looked like a pretty hot time that night.
Oh, yeah, it was honestly crazy. I mean, people were moshing and crowd surfing, and it was just a pleasant surprise. I loved it. The energy was fantastic.
Now you played there. It was on the 26th. You played Nashville back on the 18th. Were those your first two live shows you've played so far, or have you done any other live gigs before those?
No, those are the first two shows I've done as a solo artist. And, after all this COVID stuff, I mean, the show that we played in Nashville was also that venue's first show since COVID, too. So, things are just starting to open up everywhere. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, so you got to give them a solid kick in the pants opening then.
Yeah, yeah.
You go to Huntsville, Alabama on the second, Biloxi, Mississippi on the third for Anxiety Fest. I love it.
Yeah.
Um,
hmm
this has
hmm
got to be pretty cool. You're definitely going to want to have the AC fixed before then.
Yeah, we have this Sprinter van that we just picked up, and the AC is out in that too. I don't know what's going on.
The gremlins are loose in your AC and all your vehicles.
Yeah, apparently just in time for everything to get really hot out, right?
Yeah, yeah. Now that was a short 30-second clip we saw the other night of the Nashville show. Is that what we come to expect from Renee Phoenix live?
Oh, hell yeah. It's just a good time. I mean, like I was saying, the energy is just crazy. And, I've been doing Fit for Rivals for a while, and we're going to be releasing new music for that too. But for the meantime, I'm doing this. But with these songs, it's just interesting because it's a lot, I guess, harder. Like there's breakdowns, there's just like a lot more harder rock to it.
Yeah.
So the energy for these shows is just, it's different and it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
How does it feel? I mean, obviously you've been in bands and you want to be a good bandmate and everything, but when the name
Yeah.
on the marquee says Renee Phoenix, it's got to be a great feeling.
It's a great feeling. It's also, I'm getting used to it,
Mm,
like seeing my face on a flyer instead of like a band and my face. It's
yeah,
just my face.
yeah, yeah.
Like, oh man, that's kind of strange, but here we are, but I'm vibing off of it and it's been fun. What can I say?
Yeah, very cool. The single Easy Peasy came out recently, video as well. Is this a brand new song, or has this come from an idea you had laying around for a while, or?
This is a brand new song. All the material that I'm going to be coming out with, it's all new material. And the material that we're playing, like for these shows too, they're all new. We do one Fit for Rival song, we play Damage, but everything else is new in the set. So seeing that reaction to everything has been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Now, are you
Yeah.
doing all your own stuff? Are you doing any covers or anything?
All of our own stuff, but also we do cover Rage Against the Machine, Sleep Now in
Nice,
the Fire. So,
nice.
yes.
Very cool. Very cool. I also like the video for Easy Peasy, particularly the conference call with the cameos and everything. How was that to try and coordinate? That must have been.
Oh, that was it was, kind of a pain in the butt. I'm not gonna I'm
Really?
not gonna lie about it. It's just a lot of coordination to make something like that happen. But, thankfully everyone I reached out to was super into it and, really nice and prompt with their responses. And yeah, it's cool seeing everyone involved in it. And it worked, because at the time, COVID was pretty much in full swing while we were
Mm,
doing this. So it was a way to get everyone involved without having to be around each other, you
sure.
know?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
worked out, yeah.
Decent. And then the rest of the video, where was that shot?
In my guitarist's basement of her house.
Nice. Nice.
We dyed a bunch. You can kind of see in the background. We dyed a bunch of sheets. We tie-dyed them and
Mm.
just kind of put them around to like make a space. And between that and lights and fog, we transformed that basement into a way cooler scene.
Yeah.
It looks a
Yeah.
lot cooler on camera.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing what you can do though? Particularly like I can't remember the band now. I wish I could. I should give them props, but I can't remember. They shot a video that looked out of this world. The guys they shot it on an iPhone 10.
Yeah. You know they
You
do
know?
movies on iPhones and stuff
Yeah.
now too? Yeah, it's crazy.
He told me they were going to rent this camera that was going to cost them an outrageous sum of money, and then something fell through at the last time. They said, "To heck with it, we'll do it on an iPhone," and it looked as pro as anything I had ever seen. You know.
Yep, I bet. I bet.
Um, Shay's guitar work is really good on this. Your vocals is good, but I think the understated part of this track, as I was listening, and I didn't really get it until I played it through headphones, is the drumming on this
Yeah.
track. Kind of tribal, kind of it. It's not in your face, but when you stop and really almost kind of isolate it, it's
hmm
pretty good stuff there.
Yeah, there's a lot of production work that, you don't really get with, my other band Fit for Rivals, which,
Yeah.
was kind of a reason why I'm like, well, all this stuff is a little bit different, so I think it follows like more of my solo path.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, there's a lot different like production elements, I would say, in this than other songs I've done.
Want to give him props. Is it Gerardo? Am I pronouncing it right?
Yeah, yeah, he played drums in the video, and he doesn't even play drums.
Really?
He's the guitarist for the newest band that we signed to my label, Freak Machine Records. He's in the other LA,
Mm.
and we didn't have a drummer yet. And I'm like, hey, do you want to be in this music video? And he's like, oh, hell yeah. So I taught him the part, and he pulled it off. He looks pro.
So who's playing the drums on the track?
I wrote all the drum parts for
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's
I
right,
mean,
because you started out on drums
I
way back
started,
when you first got into music, right? Didn't you like sort of start out on
yeah,
drums?
yeah, I wanted to be a drummer, and my parents said it was just too loud. And as my dad so kindly put it, he was just like, I don't want to hear that shit when I come home. And he's like, and you can't take all this stuff to a party, like you should learn
Yeah.
guitar. You can take that to a party and show off.
All
And if
right.
you play drums, you're in the back. He's like, you don't want to do all that. And he was right.
Mm-hmm.
The drummer has so much equipment and setting that up and down, it's just wow.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
glad I mean, drums is so much fun to play. Like, honestly, I think it may be my favorite thing to
Sure.
play. But
Sure.
man, it's a pain.
Okay. Well, the drum parts you wrote for that, I was thinking it was the guy in the video.
Oh no,
Um,
no, that's my good
Fantastic.
friend Gerardo. He killed it though. He's
Yeah, yeah,
great.
he definitely did.
Yeah.
It's kind of ironic. You're the second person now I've interviewed. The other guy I think I did last week, Mackay Gray from the first, who
Uh-huh.
moved from Florida to Nashville, started on drums. Parents talked him into switching to guitar, and it's just, kind of ironic, the irony of it all.
Yeah.
Um,
I guess
Pretty,
it's a common situation,
yeah,
'cause
definitely.
yeah.
What brought you from Florida to Nashville?
Well, we lived in LA. My wife and I lived in LA for less than a year. We tried it out and it just wasn't for us.
Hmm.
And I had a group of friends here in Nashville who are also involved in the music industry and bands and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think we'll have a better time in Nashville than in California because, I'm from Florida. I like that Southern hospitality. It's a different vibe from
Yeah.
California to Nashville. And for me, it just works so much better here. And I'm a lot happier. And yeah, I love it here so far. It's great. The community's great. The music community here is amazing.
Yeah, the music scene down there. I mean, everybody's there. Of course, you got all the country guys. I swear to God, every 80s rocker has moved to Nashville now. Um,
Yeah, a lot of rock people are here, and a lot
yeah.
of my friends who were in LA are moving to Nashville.
Mm,
So it's great.
it's
Everyone,
definitely,
come on down.
yeah, a hub,
Yeehaw.
And with that
Yeah.
much talent, it definitely keeps you on your toes too, because you've got to be really good to even begin to stand out down there, you know?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of professional musicians here, and there's this street here. It's called Broadway, and there's just bar after bar. You know, you can hear the bands as you're walking down. But a lot of people here, they do cover bands and their own solo acts full time.
Mm,
It's pretty cool.
yeah, definitely. Now you mentioned Freak Machine Records, of which of course you are the CEO of. Give
Yeah.
us a little synopsis on that.
Well, I started the label with the premise of I want to help artists with their careers in a positive, awesome way, in a fair way. I've kind of been chewed up and spit out through this industry, and
Mm,
I would just want to take all my negative experiences and channel them into something positive
yeah,
and help people succeed in their careers, give them a fair chance, develop bands and of course, like my projects are all going through the label and everything too.
right.
So we're just trying to build a, fun community and produce some really awesome music.
Very cool. I think it's amazing nowadays. You can create your own label. You can do everything yourself nowadays. It's not like it was back when you were at the mercy of some suit in a high rise somewhere. Um,
Yeah, I think a lot, for the longest time, we kind of chased that carrot on a string, I like to
mhm.
say.
Yep.
Within the industry, it's like, oh, you need a big label, you need this and that. Well, like you just said, it's kind of not necessarily needed anymore,
Hmm.
especially for as long as I've been doing this and coming from such a strong DIY background. I started in punk bands when I was a teenager, and that's like kind of the whole essence of punk rock. And, then with Fit for Rivals, we did a lot on our own.
Yeah.
And, it just kind of all stemmed from that. And I've made a lot of amazing relationships within this industry through the years. So, I'm keeping it tight and bringing along the people who are great to work with, who are transparent and nice and, want to do good things.
Very cool. You talk about
Yeah.
your first bands that you were in. Was the first one the Explicits? Did I get that one right?
Yeah. Yeah. That
Yeah.
was my very first band, a
Uh,
little punk rock band. Yeah.
and you talked about being chewed up and spit out. I think the important thing, and I've learned it just in life too, is you learn what to do, but most importantly, you learn what not to do.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's
I
huge.
have to agree. And, why not help others not make a lot of the same mistakes that I have?
Sure.
And instead of being bitter and this and that about it, I'm just choosing to do what I can with it. And why not help other people?
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Hmm.
You're all over social media. You've got huge followings everywhere. I think I read it, and one thing you've got like big followings overseas and everything. It's almost bigger like overseas Europe and that area than it is here in the States.
Yeah, we have a lot of fans in South America
Mm,
is where Fit for Rivals and myself have really like popped off more than in the United States.
yeah.
So we're trying to focus on getting things rolling here in the US more than ever. But
Mm,
yeah, it's just the power of the internet. And really YouTube is where all of this started. It just
mm,
kind of blossomed from there.
all right.
And yeah, a lot of South American fans. It's
What
pretty cool.
what what do you think makes a difference? And I'm not trying to diss America. I mean, because this is where we live, and we love the country
Yeah.
and everything. But the music scene, I talk to so many bands who have huge followings in South America, in Europe, in Japan. Why do you think it's not catching on here? Is it the way radio is built? Is it we have the social media here? Is it because it's so big of a country and there's so big of a platter? What do you?
Um,
What's your take on it?
that's like a really hard thing to quantify. I think you were kind of touching on it maybe because there is such a big platter and radio is a little bit different here, I feel.
Yeah.
Because in South America, they were playing Fit for Rivals like along with all the other bigger bands like on their MTV station.
Mm,
So we kind of fit in there, and I feel like here I don't know. It's just a little different. I can't really quantify exactly what it is.
Mm.
Maybe there's just a lot of everything here, and I feel like pop and rap really roll
Yeah.
over here, and I think in other countries rock is just a little bit more accepted.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not 100% on the nose with all that, but yeah, it is interesting. It is
Yeah.
interesting how it's different because I mean we're all on the same planet, you know,
Right.
like
Yeah. The other thing I've
yeah.
noticed is in other countries the passion for music it runs a little bit deeper. I think. I mean, I'm not saying we don't have it here. Everybody has their rabid fans, but you see a lot of people that have just such a passion for it all,
Oh,
and they
I
buy the
agree.
magazines, they buy the 45s and everything.
I agree. I mean, a good example of that is when I know like when Paramore went to South America, they almost tipped over their tour bus.
Mm.
You know, and that doesn't happen here. But over in South America, those kids are just like crazy for them, which I
Right.
think is great. You know, not the whole tipping of the tour bus, but that like kind of
Right. That type of just
enthusiasm for it.
yeah.
It's just different. It's
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
The other thing with social media, it can be such a double-edged sword. It can be the greatest thing in the world, or you get these keyboard warriors on there, who can just be really negative.
Oh
And
God,
and I,
yeah.
I sense that you're a very positive person. How do you go about separating the good from the bad? I mean, I know you got to develop a thick skin and everything, but at times it's got to be tougher. You just learned to ignore the haters?
You know, at first, like when we first started doing this, it did bother me, but then over time, it was just like you come to realize that, you know, you're putting yourself in this position, you're putting yourself out there as an artist, so you have to accept that, you know, like I'm willingly doing this.
Hmm.
And I think a lot of times negative comments really have nothing to do with me as a person, but rather what that other person who's making the negative comments, like maybe they're having a bad day,
Yeah.
you know, maybe something else happened in their life like you don't know about. So none of it bothers me anymore. It really doesn't. Because I just I've changed my perspective on it where I would take it personally at first, but now it's just like, you know, I don't think any of it truly has to do with me. I just happen to be there. You know, I'm putting myself out there. So, you know, it is what it is. I just choose to be positive and have a good day, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
What can you do? You know, like you
Yeah.
can't do anything about it. I'm not going to sit there and argue with someone about whatever, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, especially on a Facebook post or a Twitter post or something. I see these people that get in these long threads, and I'm like, oh my God, the time you're
That's
wasting.
exhausting. It's
You know,
exhausting.
that's when I'm like, okay, let's just skip on by this.
Yeah, I just rather do something else, you
Yeah,
know, something fun.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Have fun.
Yeah, yeah.
So you've got the single out, Easy Peasy, which is killer. EP
Thanks.
coming out soon.
Yeah, so what we're doing with not only myself but the other LA too, we're just going to be releasing singles all throughout the rest of the year and going
Nice.
into the new year. And then eventually we'll, you know, tie them all together and have an EP.
Right.
But until then, you know, just releasing single after single. But there's a lot of good music coming your way. It's really exciting. I wish everyone could just hear it right now, but you know, we get to play it live. So if you come to a live show, you get to hear all the new music.
Right. So
Yeah.
is everything in the can now, ready to go? It's just a matter of timing it out.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
And I'm still writing more. Just because, you know, we have so much music, this is gonna last us for a while with timing these releases. So I'm just gonna keep writing and writing. I mean, we already did the whole Fit for Rivals record. We wrote enough for an EP for that too.
Nice.
So yeah.
I've always been fascinated with songwriting because I've never even attempted to write when I sucked at writing poetry in high school. I was a good story writer. I could write stories, but I'm
Yeah.
always fascinated by that process. Is with your song, how does the songwriting process work for you? Do you sit down at a time to write? Does the stuff come out from the cosmos?
You know,
W-
every song I feel is different. Sometimes I'll just sit down with my guitar and I write a cool riff and kind of just go by that, or a cool chord progression, and I think of a melody, and then that'll just turn into a song. It could be something that I just have in my head, a little melody, and it stems from that. It could be lyrics. I mean, you just have to find something that inspires you, or for me, just anything that inspires me that I can like hold on to and be like, oh, okay, well, I think this could be a song. Like this part could like turn into something bigger. And if I get stumped, I'll just switch instruments sometimes. Like, oh man, I can't think of this part. Let me try something on bass. Let me try something on drums, or, whatever. I just kind of switch it around, you know?
Yeah, very cool. Were you good,
Yeah.
say in school, like, in English and stuff? Were you a good English student? Writing classes, anything like that? Did you do anything? Were you able to do anything like that, or was this just sort of come
Yeah.
to you?
Yeah, I was pretty good in English. In college, that was my degree. That was my major was English, and then my minor was film.
Mm,
So, I pursued that, but I think lyrics are kind of one of my weaker points, I feel, in music and songs. I never think they're good enough. I feel like I could probably rewrite and rewrite until the end of time, you know?
yeah,
You just have
yeah,
to learn when to stop and be like, all right, it's good, just move on?
right. You could have written American Pie, and then you sat there, no, I need to change these lines.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Very cool. So we talked about you're going to be releasing the singles. You've got some dates coming up. Where are we looking, say, beyond these live dates? You have anything else lined up, or you're waiting to see how things work out, or?
We're releasing new material. We're doing live dates. We're doing music videos, lyric videos, a lot of content. I think we're going to be working on doing kind of a live streaming concert thing we want to
Oh,
get
cool.
going.
Yeah.
Um, and then, yeah, then after all my solo stuff, I mentioned Fit for Rivals. So we're
Right.
going to be hopping back into that train too. Just
Nice.
keeping busy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Um, I gotta ask the question that's on your T-shirt and a couple of your pictures. Just who the F is Renee Phoenix?
I don't know. You tell me.
Has anybody asked you that yet?
No, but my drummer, she thought it was such a funny shirt. I saw that
Yeah.
she's gonna be wearing that to our shows, so I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
can I can tell you just from watching your videos and talking to you now, I would describe you as a very intense, uh, positive, driven would be the three words that come immediately to mind.
Thank you. Those are all really good words.
Those would be three words I could come up with, that right off the top of my head.
Hell yeah.
So very
Well,
cool.
thanks.
Let's see, Renee. I usually like to end with fun questions. I'm hoping
Yeah.
these are questions maybe you've never even been asked. Does that sound
Yeah.
good to you?
Yeah. No, ask away.
All right. First thing you think about when you wake up in the morning.
Ooh. Um. First thing I think of when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
I usually make coffee.
Okay.
So that's like the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning.
Gotta have
Coffee.
coffee.
Gotta have some coffee and drink a lot of water.
All right.
Those two things. Yeah. Try to stay hydrated, even though, man, I feel like I'm so bad at it, but I'm trying to be good at it. But
Yeah, definitely being up on stage with the energy you put out. You gotta keep yourself hydrated, underneath
yeah,
the lights and everything.
especially in this heat.
Yes. Yes. A memory of something from your teen bedroom.
Oh, memory of something from my teen bedroom. I used to put up a bunch of like clippings and like cut out a bunch of stuff from magazines.
Mm,
I remember I had like this whole section like of the Distillers and like No Doubt and Garbage and all these bands I really like, Nine Inch Nails. So I probably, yeah, it's like this whole like corner I kind of had, and it almost looked like wallpaper because I
nice.
had so much of it. Yeah.
Have you met anyone yet that's made you totally starstruck that you've gone sort of fangirl on?
Oh, starstruck. Not really yet, I think.
Who do you think
Um,
would leave you starstruck then if you were to meet him?
oh, that's a really good question. I don't know if I'd be starstruck. I think I'd be more inquisitive. I feel like I would
Okay.
have so many questions.
All right.
Um,
Who's a person you would like to interview then? Let's switch the question. Who's a person you would like to interview?
I would love to interview Brody Dahl from the Distillers.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to talk with Butch Vig from
Mm,
Garbage because he's an
yeah.
excellent producer. He did, Nirvana, Smashing Pumpkins, all Garbage's stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of led that grunge revolution. I would love to ask him just some stories he has.
Mm, yes.
And then Brody Dahl, I would love to just kind of pick her mind about being a front woman in a band and just
Sure.
kind of compare and contrast, I guess, experiences. I think Corey Taylor would be another cool person
Yeah.
to talk with
Yeah.
because I feel like he's kind of doing the same thing that I'm doing in the sense where it's like I have bands, I do my solo stuff. He's kind of, a little bit all over the place. But it
Mm-hmm.
sounds like he just does whatever he wants to do, which I think is a really cool vibe. So I
Right.
would love to just ask him about his time management and how he
Yeah. Yeah.
manages to
Exactly.
do all these things and just, I guess compare and contrast that.
Yeah.
Uh, and then last one would probably be Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails,
Yeah.
more of a production studio kind of questions. I would
Mm, that would be
love to pick his
fascinating.
mind about that too. Yeah,
Mm,
just like his whole process, because so many layers in those songs, and
yeah.
I
Yeah.
just love it. And his like live stage setup and everything. I remember I watched this documentary on Nine Inch Nails, and he's so involved with
Hmm.
everything. Like he was asking like the light designer, "Hey, what does like this light do? How does this work?" And I
Yeah.
think that's so cool to be so involved and inquisitive and wanting to learn how all this stuff works. Because I feel like I'm kind of that person as well.
Definitely.
You
I
know.
saw him back on the Fragility tour with a Perfect Circle opening, and that was a killer show.
Oh, that's a good lineup.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Household appliance you can't live without.
Household appliance. Coffee maker. Go make me coffee.
What basic item, say you're going out on a tour, what basic item do you have to throw in your suitcase with you that you carry with you on the road?
The one thing I need to bring with me, I have like this little back roller thing. It's
Okay.
not like one of those, it's like this short, like little, uh, it's just a back roller.
Yeah.
And man, it just opens up my spine and like I breathe through it. And just from singing every night and, going in, uncomfortable green rooms or, sprinters or wherever I'm at, it
Yeah.
just really keeps my body just like nice and open and loose. So I
Nice.
would say I have all the things I need. I love bringing that whenever I go anywhere, travel anywhere, I want to bring that.
Cool.
Yeah.
What clothing style that's currently out of fashion would you like to see come back?
Ooh. Um, man. That's a good one. I
Mm.
really don't know. Maybe Jinkos. Those were interesting. Those
Yeah.
like really big, those
Yeah.
big white pants.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 Okay.
You remember
Yeah.
those?
Oh, I
Those are
remember those. Yeah.
interesting. Or
Yeah.
like kind of like early 2000s fashion or like late 90s kind of fashion. I thought was a lot of interesting stuff going on there.
There
Um,
definitely was. Yeah.
yeah, like jelly sandals. Those were weird. I don't
Yeah.
know if I wouldn't wear any of this shit, but I just
Right.
think it would be interesting to see on other people.
If you could pick a television show to have one of your songs placed in, what show would you pick?
Ooh, I would love something with like the WWE, like a wrestler to come out to one of my songs. I think
Ooh,
would be really cool.
you
That
know
would
that
be really sick.
that leads right to my favorite, right to my next question. Then, favorite old school wrestler.
Ah man, I would have to say The Rock.
The Rock? Yeah.
The Rock. I love Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Mm,
Um, who else? Undertaker. I thought he was a crazy guy.
yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Very cool.
Yeah.
Last one. This is the one we have fun with. If they were to make a biopic of your life, what actress would you pick to play you in the movie? It's your movie, your life. You can pick anybody.
Oh man. You know, a lot of people come up to me and say that I look like Joan Jett. I don't think I look like Joan Jett. I think it's just they kind of see me on stage and that's the first thing they kind of, I
Yeah.
guess, like think of in that respect.
All right.
But the one I do get sometimes is Arya Stark from Game of Thrones, and I
Okay.
think that's a closer depiction of me. I don't look exactly like her, of course, but I feel
Mm,
like that's a little bit closer. So maybe I guess her, that
okay.
would fit. Yeah,
Cool.
she's a
Very
badass.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Renee, has there been anything that I didn't ask you, anything you wanted to talk about that we didn't cover in this interview? The floor is yours.
I don't think so. I think you covered just about everything that I have going on. The new single, Easy
Yeah,
Peasy. We're gonna just continue to release new and awesome music. So, subscribe to my Spotify and YouTube and all that. YouTube's a really good channel for us. We're gonna be really big on content there and just releasing more music videos, lyric videos, not just from myself but from the other LA as well.
cool.
And yeah, just, follow me on all those social medias.
There you
There's
go.
so many of them. I don't even know where to start,
Oh,
but
I know it's crazy nowadays,
too
you know?
many.
Yeah.
Too many. I miss the days when it was just like, what's your MySpace?
Yeah,
And that was
yeah.
it. That's all you got,
It was so simple then, you know?
It was so simple and just
Yeah.
learning all the HTML code, like
Mm,
the good old days, right?
yeah, yes, exactly. Well, Renee, I've had a blast chatting with you. I wish you much luck and success in the future. I know you're going to have it. And have fun out there on those tours. And please get your AC fixed in those vehicles.
It's on my priority. It's on my priority list. Thank you so much for having me, Lance. And I'll talk to you soon. I'm sure I will.
I'm sure we will again. I look forward to it. Take care. Enjoy the rest
All
of your
right.
evening.
You as well, man.
Bye bye.
Bye.